Hey Dragonlings, it's the start of a brand new week and I'm actually kind of pumped to get going and doing things. But I need you guys to hold me accountable to something because I'm finding myself avoiding writing by doing other things. Yesterday was a very good example. I did a lot of stuff with YouTube. I planned out all of my video ideas for the next 3 months, the rest of March, all of April, and May, the first 2 weeks of May at least, and I think I have ideas for the last 2 weeks of May as well. And I went ahead and filmed and edited and uploaded this week's video, which was good. I needed to do that anyways, but I had planned to do it later this week. But I also filmed and edited 2 other videos that could have waited until later this week when I had planned to do them. And the only thing I have left to do is upload them. So they'll be ready to go. But my point is, I did all of that just to avoid writing. And I really need to get words written. It kind of needs to happen in order to, make money. So this is what I need your help doing. If you follow me on any social media, feel free to check in with me on a daily basis. Just send me an IM message and be like, hey, have you written today? You need to do at least 500 words. I would like to write at least 500 words a day for the next few days because I go days where I don't write any words and then I knock out a whole bunch. And I know what it is. I am the kind of person that I will avoid writing because I discourage myself because I see those word counts. I'm doing Millwordy. I want to write 1 million words this year, but I see how far behind I am and then I just get discouraged and I don't write at all for days at a time, which puts me even further behind. But on days when I do sit down and write, I knock out a whole bunch of words. I sat down last week. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen my Millwordy update. And I wrote 300 words for a flash fiction contest. Originally, that was 500 words. I wrote it down to 380, and then I edited it down to 300. And then I waited a couple hours, and I edited it again to make sure that I was happy with those 300 words. That was an all-day thing for me, but it is completely done. And I probably, if I count all of the words I wrote for that project, including the ones I deleted over and over again, I probably wrote close to 1,000 words. My plan was to sit down and write 200 because I just wanted to write something. And then later in the week, I had already gotten the idea to do 2 anthology pieces to submit to an anthology, and I started writing one of them because I had a great idea for it based on a dream I had the night before. And about 500 words in, I realized that it was not going to fit for the anthology. It was just too long of an idea, and I needed more words in order to tell the entire story. I ended that day with almost 5,000 words, and I took a break and never returned to it because I went on a binge deal where I just watched videos on YouTube and TikTok the rest of the evening. But that just goes to show you, I had planned to sit down and just plan stories for these 2 anthologies. And I did. I gathered a whole bunch of ideas for both story ideas. And then on top of that wrote 4,000, I think it was 4,500 words, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But I wrote a lot. And it wasn't writing I'd planned on doing. So I know what I need to do. I need to just sit down and write. So I read a post on one of the groups I'm in talking about how this particular person starting, I think it was, let me see if I can find a date, October 1st, 2020. They told themselves that they were going to sit and write 2,000 words every day while they were working on a particular book, until they finished that book. Then they would take a break and then start over with the next book. I need to do something like that. They were talking about working on holidays and even when people visit or when they go out and do stuff. I need to go ahead and do the same thing because I know that as long as I sit down to actually do the words, I will do the words plus more. And I will hit those word counts that I want to be hitting, that I had planned to hit all along. I know I will because I've proven that I can, and I will. So it's just a matter of me sitting down and doing the work, basically. So if you guys want to come along with me on this journey and keep me accountable, feel free to send me a friend request on Facebook. That's where you can find me most of the time. I am a very big fan of Facebook Messenger. I need to get better about checking my message requests because there's a bunch of messages sitting in my message requests that I haven't seen. And now I got to contact those people and be like, I saw we, bro. I saw we. I don't know how you ended up here. Welcome to the graveyard that no one checks. By the way, if you are on Facebook and you use Messenger, you can't get to it on the desktop from what I've seen, but go ahead on your phone, click your little icon picture and go down to message requests and check them, because if someone is not your friend and they send you a message, that's where it ends up, in that message request graveyard where you won't see it. And make sure you check the general as well as the spam, because a lot of mine, people who I've never talked to in my life, are ending up in the spam box. So check it. I also message people on Instagram. Facebook is more popular, but I do Instagram. The only one I don't do a lot of is Twitter. I avoid Twitter. I'm sorry, people. I can't. But yeah, send me a message. Be like, hey, have you written your words today? My goal for this week is to write 500 words every day this week. I want to write 500. I know that if I can at least sit down and do 500, I can probably hit more than that, but I want to make sure I do at least 500. So feel free, check in with me. Make sure I'm doing that. Hold me accountable. Tell me that I need to get off Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and actually write some bloody words, because that seems to be the only way I'm going to get it done. Is if other people tell me, hey, I see you haven't written your words today. You kind of need to. So yeah, feel free. Poke me and be like, hey, do your words. This guy, do the words. Do the words. That's just some thoughts I had for today. How do you guys hold yourselves accountable? Let me know in the comments below.
I think I may have found a suitable compromise for my problem. I mentioned in yesterday's vlog that I wanted to start writing like 500 words a day on each project, and I think I may have found a solution that can kind of help me with that. And that is the fact that I have to write 500 words before I do any other task. And then I have a list of to-dos that I usually make on a daily basis of things I need to do. This week I have a running Alistar method. Hold on, let me grab my bullet journal that I created in this with a bunch of tasks that I want to do this week. And what I'm doing is anytime I write 500 words, then I can do check off another task for today. Now, that is not a complete list. Those are like the major things that I knew at the beginning of the week that needed to get done this week. And on a daily basis, there's some things are added every day based on what is happening or what needs to happen. Like, say the dishes need to be done or stuff like that. But I think what I'm going to do is just every time I finish writing 500 words, then I can do another task of like daily to-do tasks. The other thing is that I've been looking at Fitbits lately because I do want to start getting back into walking. It has started warming up again. Like even today it's in the 70s. Like I think it's 72 degrees outside right now. That's pretty warm considering how it's been for the past couple weeks here. But my biggest thing about Fitbit is they're like between $150 to $200 depending on what kind you get. Plus you have to buy the Fitbit software, if I understand correctly. The Fitbits I was looking at talked about having a full year of free trial. But here's the thing. I don't like things on my wrists. I don't like anything around my neck except a choker. I don't even really like wearing the ring. I'm still trying to convince my husband to get tattoo rings. I wear one earring because I have earring problem. I have ear problems in my lower ear. Something I noticed in my last vlog was how weird my ears look because of the piercings that were there. And I don't even normally wear this earring. I do want to get my nose pierced, and every once in a while you'll see me in a video wearing a fake septum ring. But like, I don't wear jewelry a lot of times. I don't like things on my wrists. That's why I don't wear a watch. Even if phones didn't exist, I probably wouldn't wear a watch. And stuff like that. So I don't want to get a Fitbit for that reason, but there are cheaper versions of the Fitbit that cost like $40 and have apps that go along with your phone that are free. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get one of those and start trying to track my steps, my blood pressure, and all that fun jazz. See how I like it, and then this time next year, if I'm still interested in doing that, maybe then get a Fitbit. Those are just my thoughts. My point of all that was that I could also incorporate that into everything. I do 500 words, I go for a walk, come back, do another 500 words, go for a walk. Earlier, I did 500 words, and then I went and made lunch and ate lunch while watching some YouTube videos, and then got back to writing. Already today, I'm sitting at 500 words, but I've actually written more than that because for the 2 anthologies, you have to submit the first 500 words. And then they rate it on a 1 to 3 scale system. And then if they accept it, 1 is accepted, 2 was really close, but we're not interested in. Here's some things that you can fix it for maybe next time. And then 3 is they're not interested at all. So what I've been doing is I've been doing this in cycles. I am using the Writing in the Dark method. Tamara Woods Writer's Workshop did this book as a review. If you want to check out that video, I will have it listed in the description as well as the cards. I believe it's going to be that corner, one of the 2 corners. One day I'll remember which side it's on and actually, figure it out. But I'm doing the Writing in the Dark method. I don't have any planning at all. I have a bunch of ideas listed, which are mostly dialogue quotes, and then I'm just writing it freeform. So I've written about 1,000 words today total, just rewriting the first 500 words because I want that to be as polished as possible before I send it in. I just did my 3rd round of edits. The other thing is that with that is that I've had a bunch of false starts. I've restarted it 3 times, taking it a little bit further into the future or the past as far as like the ideas go. And what I mean by that is I started the scene here. I decided I didn't like it starting there. I started it before. I decided I didn't like that and started after all 3, basically. So yeah, that's the other thing that I'm doing. But yeah, those are my thoughts today. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to go back. This is my break, basically. I'm getting ready to go do another 500 words because I just finished up this break by doing this vlog clip. So far it's working. We'll see how it continues to work as the week goes on. Obligatory animal clip. Pixel is sleeping in Justin's chair. And Jester is sleeping in the dog bed. Pixel. Jester. Pixel. Jester. Also, another thing I wanted to ask, how long is too long for a vlog? I'm noticing my clips are getting longer, and I'm doing more of them as the week goes on just so I could talk about various things. I think I got too used to doing daily vlogs that were 5 to 10 minutes each, because now I'm doing the same thing, and I have to edit them down. But yeah, how long is too long for a vlog? I know I've seen some as short as 5 minutes, and I've seen some as long as an hour. I'm just curious what you guys enjoy watching. What's the sweet spot for you? So let me know in the comments below. Today has been a perfect example of everything I thought I needed to set up for the thing I was doing where I was writing 500 words and then doing tasks, writing 500 words, tasks. So my husband had work last night and he came to bed. And he came to bed about between 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's not unusual. But cuddles. I stayed in bed until noon because cuddles, man. Cuddles. I love the cuddles. So I didn't even get up until noon. And I didn't even actually get out of bed. My husband's in the other room. Can we do... That's what he's doing right now. So, I haven't did squat today. I got up. I made me some lunch from some stuff he brought home from work that's been sitting in the work freezer for a couple months now. No one's claimed it. He claimed it, brought it home. He's like, here, free food. And I'm like, oh yes, free food. I love free food. So I ate some free food. And then I watched a movie. And then I proceeded to watch nothing but TikToks. I haven't written any words today. Not a damn one. My computer, until this moment, was in my room because I thought to myself last night, I was like, I'm not tired. I will go lay down in bed and I will write until I fall asleep. And what happens? The moment I laid down and I put my computer up and I was like, okay, I'm ready to write. I was out. I was out like a light bulb, and it was glorious, and I love it. I'm going to do that every night from now on. And what do you touch me for? What are you touching me for?
Hi. What do you mean by free food?
Free food. There's free food in the freezer.
Ooh.
It's probably not stuff you'll eat. But, so yeah, that is all I've done today. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have watched a movie, watched a bunch of TikToks, and done no writing whatsoever.
I had a brownie.
Oh, I had a brownie too. I forgot about that. Thank you.
Weird.
So yeah, now I'm gonna go get to work and do some writing, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna try. A quick update. I just got done with Tamara's live stream a couple minutes ago. Just let Hob outside because he wanted to go outside. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and DNF the 2 anthology projects because I went looking. I did some research this morning when I finally climbed out of bed. I should say this afternoon because it was almost noon when I got out of bed. But my point is, I did some research on previous anthologies and the kinds of stories that were published in those previous anthologies. And something I noticed is that my style of writing isn't what they're looking for, which is not a problem. I could still submit to them. The problem is the fact that I am struggling to write these 2 stories just because in the back of my mind, I know there's other projects I should be focusing on. I had 6 projects I wanted to complete this year and get published. There was the last 2 books in the Damned and Dangerous Quartet, Damned and Deadly and Damned and Demonic. There's also the last 3 books in the Fire and Brimstone series, Demon Rider, Angel's Fall, and Krampus Claus. Then there was the anthology collection. I've been posting in my newsletter monthly stories, and they're all about wolves or wolf-related stories, mostly werewolves. And I was going to put that collection together at the end of the year when I finished doing all the newsletter stories. And I was going to publish this collection of wolf-related stories in an anthology or a collection, along with a bonus story that I was going to add in. I've already started writing it. I started writing it last year. And that one was going to be a brand new story to the collection when it gets published. So that's 6 projects I had in mind to write and publish this year. And I'm not getting any work done on them. Now, part of that is because I'm stuck in a rut with both the Damned and Dangerous Quartet and Demon Rider. And the rest of the projects that follow along, except for the anthology collection, are all dependent on those stories. So I really can't work on them until I finish those 2. But in the back of my mind, I'm trying to write these 2 anthology stories, and I do have ideas for them. But in the back of my mind, I'm going, you should be working on such and such or such and such. And I'm having a problem with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just DNF those 2 projects. They're due at the end of the month anyways, and I really don't have time to fight with them, get them written, and try to submit them to an editor and get that back in time by the end of the month, especially since it would be next week before I even probably finish the story because of the fact that I'm fighting with them so much, which means that will give whoever I contact to edit them a week to do that, and that's not good. By the way, that's not good practices with an editor unless your editor puts out a public post saying they're accepting submissions, accepting those kind of submissions, like quick, got to do it now kind of submissions. You don't do that. You plan ahead. So it's not going to get done in enough time for me to contact any of the editors I know and be like, hey, can you edit this for me? I need it back this date. I need to have it finished so I can submit it by this date. It's just too little time. So I'm going to go ahead and DNF those 2 projects. The other thing I am going to do is I've been struggling with the Passion Project, and I've talked about this before, whether it's been in vlogs or on my Instagram posts where I've done my Millwordy updates. It was a duology of 2 books. The one I really wanted to write is the second book. It's about 2 warlock brothers. The duology is about 2 warlock brothers who joined the police department to help solve crimes that are warlock related. For centuries, warlocks have been hidden. Now they're out in the open, but not everyone is accepting them. the story I really want to write, they're twin brothers. I want to write the second twin brothers story. Now, his story is dependent on the things that occur in the first brother's story. However, I never had a lot of ideas for the first brother's stories. I know the events that will affect the second brothers, but I'm not interested in writing the first brother's stories. The one I want to write is the second brother's, whose tale happens when his brother has been within the police department for over a year. So what I'm decided to do with that project is, instead of considering it two different projects, I'm going to combine it as one. I used Scrivener to write my project's first drafts. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and renamed the whole project Warlock's Duology, and I've created two folders within that project. One is called Of Imps and Innocence, which was technically the first brother. And then I've created the second folder, which is Of Deals and Demons, which is the second brother, the one I really want to write about. And I've gone ahead and separated chapters into their particular folders based on what I'm going to be writing. Now, what I'm going to do so I can get back in the habit of writing, and since I really do want to write that brother's story, is I'm going to go ahead and write that brother's story. That will increase my word count on that project and hopefully get it done by the end of the year, because that is my goal, to finish that by the end of the year. The other thing that it will do is get me back in practice for writing, because I am still struggling to write. I've been writing this week, doing the 500 words task, 500 word task, has worked to some extent, except for I'm only getting about 500 words a day doing it that way. But I think it will help me go ahead and get back in the habit of writing, which is the main thing I'm trying to do. And it will get me moving forward on projects. I am kind of at a burnout stage with Demon Rider, with the Damned and Dangerous Quartet. I'm ready for those series to be done. I know that I need to complete these projects this year and get them done, because I am at that burnout stage. And once I hit that stage, I really don't want to work on them anymore. So that I need to get those done. But that also means that I need to work on something else until I can hit a stage where I'm ready to work on them again. And I think I can do that with the Warlocks project if I'm working on the part of the project that I want to work on, which is that second brother. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to get myself back into the writing habit, get myself back in love with writing. And yeah, now I know a lot of it is that it's 2021 and it seems to be 2020.2. Because there's a lot of things that are just going wrong this year for everyone. And I know that's part of the reason I'm having trouble writing these projects. So I've just got to get over this hump and get it done and get some words in. And I know I can do that. It's just a matter of doing it. And this is my way of trying to figure out how to do that. So let's go ahead and try it and see if it works.
Hey, Dragonlings, I have Jester with me. She is over there. She was just sleeping and I think I woke her up. So a quick update. I'm only going to DNF one of the anthology submission projects, and there's a couple reasons for this. I read back over the rules, and it turned out I should have never thought about doing the urban fantasy one to begin with, because one of the rules is that I have a book out in that genre. I have 3 books out, and they're currently all 3 in paranormal romance. None of them are in urban fantasy. So that automatically disqualifies me from that genre to begin with, so I never should have thought about doing it. And then I decided to go ahead and keep the paranormal romance project because of the fact that when I read back over the rules, only the first 500 words are due March 31st. The rest of the story isn't even due until May 5th, and that's if you pass on to the second round. Now, I mentioned before that they're doing it by 1, 2, and 3. 1 is where it's really good. We want the rest of the story now. 2 is that they like it, but it doesn't meet their standards right now. Here are some things to fix. Maybe next time you'll make it if you fix these things. And then 3 is we don't want it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean up the 500 words for the PNR and submit it. And if I get to 1 or 2, then I'll go ahead and write the rest of it. If it gets to 3, obviously I won't have to bother with it. And I will have until May 5th to finish that up if I do that. So that's what I'm going to do instead. Instead of DNFing it like I'm DNFing the urban fantasy one, I want to go ahead and just submit it and see what they say, because the worst they can say is no. Maybe they'll say yes. So I finally did it. I submitted. Are you done?
she's going to talk over me today. I finally submitted both pieces for the various projects that I was looking at submitting to. I submitted the QSF Flash Fiction for the contest, and I went ahead and submitted the anthology First 500 Words for the Paranormal Romance Anthology. So those are out of my hands, which is actually a relief. I tend to worry myself in circles up until after I submit stuff, and then I can breathe. So it doesn't matter what is decided about either one, whether they're accepted or denied. It's now out of my hands, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it actually, I feel a lot calmer, and I'm happy with that. So there was a lot more I actually wanted to talk about, but this vlog is already getting extremely long. I'm editing it. I'm trying to finalize everything. It's already almost 30 minutes long. So I'm just going to end this here and wrap it up. There will be a video coming soon. I'm about to do a lot of edits on my project planner because I watched a video from Sarah Cannon over on heart breathings. And so I'll be looking forward to that because I'm excited about doing this project, and I can't wait to show you what I get done with it. So, yeah, I will see you guys all in next week's vlog. Bye, Dragonlings.